top 10 NFL inside linebackers, 10-6, 20. Quan Alexander, age 23. Ryan Shazier, age 24. Jordan Hicks, age 25. Demario Davis, age 28. Eric Kendricks, age 25. Mason Foster, age 28. Benardrick McKinney, age 24. Denzel Perryman, age 23. Tahir Whitehead, age 27. Christian Kirksey, age 24. Jarrell Freeman, age 31. Preston Brown, age 24. Deion Jones, age 22. Carlos Dansby, age 35. Number 10, Zach Brown, age 27. So Zach Brown has been in the league for quite a while, sort of, playing for Tennessee, and then moving on to Buffalo, and now a Washington Redskin. So not bad, not a bad player out there in Tennessee. I think he produced some really good numbers. 2014 was his only thing. He played in one game and started there, but it was injury prone for him on that year. But other than that, he's always been a pretty on the field kind of guy. Got more attention in Buffalo, I would say. He just got more into superstardom, and it's landed him in Washington. Hasn't played a down for them yet in the regular season for Washington, so we're basing all his stats on last year when he was a part of the Buffalo Bills for a year. And him and Preston Brown, pretty good duo together. Kind of a shame that couldn't have been rearranged, and I could have seen those two, because those two up there at linebacker, along with, you know, that front four there, and having pretty good corners, you know, even though they did lose a really big one in Stephon Gilmore. I just think this defense actually had the ability for a while to just be one of the best in the league. I think they kind of went down a bit due to some losses in free agency, but, you know, we'll see how they do. Redskins, on the other hand, they got a great player. They got a great linebacker, just a all-around guy that you need, that you want. He's able to play, and he's kind of established himself as someone really big. And I think this year's patched him up as being a top 10 kind of guy, just because he's been able to have these kind of seasons. But this one was more cultivating, and just it landed in more. It was a better reputation for him as a player. It was a big year for him, and he proved it. He really did prove what his worth is. And honestly, I enjoy seeing this guy succeed. I hope he continues to succeed. And yeah, he's number 10 right now. So his contract, 1 year, $2.3 million. Not a bad deal for a guy that you're gonna get that can actually sack the quarterback, that can get a lot of tackles, that can be a kind of a wreck there on that defensive side, can get the ball with the best of them in terms of intercepting it. You know, he's able to deflect passes if he sees them, if he can reach them. He can force fumbles, he can recover. He's an all-around kind of back linebacker, and that's what you need. And Redskins, perfect, you know. I mean, it's kind of fitting, because London Fletcher used to be taking that position very seriously before, and now Zach Brown is pretty much fighting for middle linebacker there. And I think that defense will be pretty good. And I do expect these Redskins to fight for a playoff NFC West title. And hey, you never know, they might go far. You just never know. Now, let's take a look at his statistics, shall we? First of all, he had 149 combined tackles this past year with Buffalo, 4 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, 4 pass deflections, and 1 interception in 16 games started and played. So, like I said, you see what he can do. He's able to just kind of be a playmaker in every asset of the game, and it's very important to see that out of Zach Brown. I enjoy seeing this out of him, and there's nothing more I can say about this guy. He's just really good. I can't wait until he gets to the playoffs. I really can't. He's never been in the playoffs. Good for him. Got a Pro Bowl this year. Got recognized, and now you just got to keep on grinding, and he'll be even more recognized. So, number 10 for now, though. Number 9, Mark Barron, age 27. Mark Barron, first of all, Alabama native in terms of Alabama alumni, right? And also, of course, an Alabama native. First of all, star out in Alabama. Great player. He had to be high. He was. 7th overall. He got picked 2012. Tampa Bay. Okay? Goes to Tampa Bay. He is a defensive back. He is a strong safety. Great year at Tampa Bay. 2 solid years. And then something happens, and I believe it was a trade, and they ship him to St. Louis. Numbers are still pretty solid. 2015 again, still pretty solid. 2016 this year, solid. And that's why he's number 9, because every single year, he's a solid guy. He's going to continuously progress. I feel like this could be a big year for him in terms of having really better numbers, bigger numbers. And it's also because they always transition him from linebacker to safety, even though I think of him more as a linebacker. He played more linebacker kind of esque position this past year, right? I will change it once I see him either switch to strong safety again, or maybe he'll be a linebacker. I don't know. All I know is that he is a stud. He is a star. It's great to see really him just on this list, because I've always liked Mark Barron. He's always been a beast out in college, and he was a beast in Tampa, and great to see him still have success. And people kind of overlook this guy. I don't think people really know who Mark Barron is. They will know him because LA is a big city compared to St. Louis. St. Louis is big, but people don't know that small markety kind of area, right? They know LA. They know Los Angeles. That's where the Aaron Donalds of the world, that's where the Mark Barrons of the world all will get their name in terms of a better endorsements for them, much more in terms of better coverage, in terms of people will know exactly who these people are, and they'll get popular very quickly. So, let's first take a look at what we got. It's Mark Barron, right? Okay. So, Mark Barron has a 5-year, $45 million contract. Very good contract. Great signing for them to get him to stay here in LA. Okay. So, he played 16 games and started 16. He had 2 interceptions, 8 pass deflections, 1 fumble recovery, 1 sack, and 117 tackles. There's nothing else much you can say, but he gets it done. Unfortunately, no, he has not won any awards, hasn't gone to the Pro Bowl. He's been very overlooked in a lot of areas. But this guy is able to put up numbers. He's able to be very contributing. He's a big part of, I would say, the St. Louis team. I really do like him in this defense. I like where they transition him. He's definitely able to transition pretty well, and I think he should be more respected in terms of the league-wise. They need to pay attention to Mark Barron. Pay attention to him this year. He is deserving of being on this countdown. So, there you go. Number 8, Alec Ogletree, age 25. This is by far my favorite tandem in this I was gonna say St. Louis, in this Los Angeles Rams team. It's very hard when you're so adjusted to saying St. Louis Rams. It comes off the mouth easier for me, but not dissing on LA for sure. That's a great place for them to go. It's like, whoa, okay, they moved to LA. So for me, it will take some time between saying San Diego Chargers to LA Chargers and St. Louis Rams to LA Rams. Okay, so bear with me, please. Now, Alec Ogletree, great linebacker. I love seeing him and Mark Barron paired up together. That makes the Rams such a great defensive. It's just a great defensive kind of stopper. They're both great stoppers. They're both agility. They both got speed. They're young, and they're ready to go. Alec Ogletree is just better than Mark Barron as of right now because Alec Ogletree is a linebacker. He really has played that position, and he's just adjusted to it. And like I said, it was the best. I would say it's one of the best 30th picks at the time St. Louis could have done. Now LA, they picked this guy from out of Georgia, and people were saying, all right, yeah, he's really good, but people still overlooked him. You know, he's a guy that people don't know. Again, another guy that people don't know that they will know, because Alec Ogletree is a star. He's a stud, and he should be. I feel like just give him some time. He's going to be up there in Defensive Player of the Year. He really has that potential. And right now, with the 1 year, $1.76 million, he can throw that out the window in terms of his logical thinking of that's going to be his most expensive contract. No, by far it won't. They're going to pay him a lot. If they don't, he's leaving somewhere where they will pay him. He's just that easily gifted. He's just a gifted athlete, a gifted football player. It's scary. It's scary to watch. It's going to be scary to see Barron and him together. I just want to see them healthy, because Alec Ogletree has also been injured in 2015. Only played 4 games, but those past 2 years, 2013, 2014, he was a beast. People just didn't see it. He had a quiet, really great quiet season, and again this year a really great quiet season again, where he played all the games. So 16 played and started. He had 2 interceptions, 11 pass deflections, 1 forced fumble, 1 fumble recovery, and a total of 136 combined tackles. And no Pro Bowl. Another guy that I think got snubbed out of it. Hasn't been to the Pro Bowl, hasn't been to the playoffs. But I'm telling you right now, Mark Barron and Alec Ogletree, you guys need to pay attention to these guys. These guys are very much playmakers. They're gonna be special this year. They're gonna be even better, and it's gonna be scary. It's gonna be a great show to see. It really is. Number 7, Derek Johnson, age 34. Derek Johnson is the heart of the Chiefs defense. You have Justin Houston, you have Tamba Ali, you've got, you got Marcus Peters, you got Eric Berry, you used to have Don Terry Poe, but you have a lot of great defensive players, and the one guy that everyone always talks about as the leader of this Chiefs defense is DJ. It's Derek Johnson. This guy is always producing. He's always trying to make his teammates better. He's always just trying to be a better football player. And honestly, he's done a great job being a leader, and I really enjoy his energy. And yes, he actually had a down year this year, but I'm putting him up here because his leadership is top-notch, and he doesn't give up on his team. He plays with pride. He plays to win, and he wants to win so bad. And I would love to see Kansas City, in my lifetime, to be in the Super Bowl. I would love for them to have that ability for a chance of, pretty much his career. I want him to have a great career, the rest of his career. I want him to win a possible Super Bowl. And again, it's kind of terrible right now because he's recovering from a torn Achilles that ended his 2017 season, and right now it's unknown if he's going to start for the Chiefs against the Pats in opening day. I hope so, because he is a star. There's a big hole they're missing out of that Chiefs defense if he doesn't start. Now, his contract right now, 2 years, $10.25 million, doesn't give him service, really. Doesn't give him justice to just make that much. He deserves a lot more just because of how big, how impactful he has been to Kansas City, to the fans, to everyone, honestly. And right now, though, looking at his stats that he played, 13 games played and started. He had an interception and returned it for a touchdown, 3 pass deflections, a sack, and 90 combined tackles. Obviously, yes, he's had a lot of better years than just this. This is definitely one of his most tragic ones, aside from 2014. But he is the real deal. He really does get to the ball. He's able to just become that guy that you need. He's a very valuable asset to this team, and you cannot you can't just not credit Derek Johnson for what he's done. He deserves to be on this list, and I wish him nothing but the best. I want him to be in. I want the Chiefs to be in the playoffs, and I want him to dominate and kick ass because the Chiefs need him. Just look at what happened with the Pittsburgh game. Number 6, Kiko Alonso, age 26, about to be 27 in 4 days pretty much. So let's just put him at 27, even though he won't be there for long. First of all, you remember that time when Kiko really shocked everyone in 2013 with Buffalo, and he was like the talk of the league because he was shocking everyone, and then he went to Philadelphia and he didn't shock anyone because he just didn't have a great year there. And then he went to Miami this past year, and then he did it again. Everyone was like, okay, he's probably a one-year wonder, and he just did it again. A big reason he's number 6 is actually because he gets to what he needs to do in order to succeed. He just works hard at it. He's a second-round draft pick. Like, that's a lot of edge. I know he's not a 7th. I know he's not a 6th or 5th. Second round, though, that means second go-around. People then really are kind of believing in you, but they're not. And I think Kiko, coming out of Oregon, like, you think he had a lot on his plate? You think he really thought, oh, it's okay, I'll be fine? No, he had a chip on his shoulder. He wanted to prove to people that he is one hell of a player. And he is one hell of a player. He's very good. Derek Johnson, age. Alec Ogletree, Mark Barron, consistency, of course. Kiko Alonso still needs to be consistent. Hasn't really proven himself to be number 1 or whatever. Whatever he wants to be, wherever I need to put him on the list. I don't think he'll ever reach number 1. But I just know that he needs to be recognized for being a player that's really gave Miami a boost, honestly, on defense. Like, you had Sue, I understand, you had some great guys out there, but Kiko really, they gave you a boost. He gave them a real good boost, and Miami is in the playoffs due to his help, I have to say. He has to be credited with some help of it. And because of his play, he got a 4-year, $28.91 million. So he's not going anywhere. After being in 3 NFL teams in 3 years, he's finally going to stay put. I'm glad. Kiko deserves to have that one team that he stays put with a contract, and hopefully from here on out he can continue to produce. If he doesn't, obviously, the circumstances are, I regret putting him at number 6. But right now, I'm giving him a high chance, higher than, it's a generous kind of listing for me to put him at number 6. Because the others have really kind of proved themselves, whereas Kiko has, but hasn't at the same time on a consistent basis. But I'm putting him because his potential is very high, and he's made a really great mark on this Miami Dolphins defense. And I just see him with this new contract. He's gonna take this contract, and he's gonna get better and better and better every single year of this contract. So that's a big reason I'm putting him on, is because the belief of him being a Pro Bowler, all-pro kind of linebacker. He has the potential of it, So we'll see. Now, he played in 15 games and started. He had 2 interceptions for a touchdown. He had 4 pass deflections, a forced fumble, 4 fumble recoveries, and 114 tackles. So that's pretty great. That's really good year. And on top of that, Mark Barron, Zach Brown, Alec Ogletree, Derek Johnson, those guys weren't in the playoffs this year. Kiko was. So that's really good to see. He had a combined 6 tackles in that one game. Didn't wreak havoc as much, but it was his first playoff game in his career. So, like I said, I expect him to be where he needs to be, and that is on this list, continuously improving, and I expect nothing but the best for him. I definitely expect him to just get even better, and it would disappoint me if he didn't. So, prove us wrong, Kiko. Just prove us wrong.